My name is Lance Daniel, and I would like to welcome you to the No Regard promo tour.
Lance Daniel is a freelance videographer.
He might be the next Michael Bay. He might be the next Steven Spielberg. Tyler Perry's gonna have to call him up.
Well, what if you could put everybody in the same room and have like a viewing party of sorts? Would people pay to see the documentary?
July 15th, Scotiabank. I'm gonna be at the premiere. I got my tickets.
You made a short film to document the origin story of your company, and now it's coming to the Scotiabank Cinema. What is the name of the film?
No Regard, the greatest recreational sports story ever told.
How could people get tickets and give us a little preview of the documentary?
'Cause everything I want, you wanna get it. I've come to fight and give up now. I'm already winning.
Now it became this whole thing. You got Nick Diaz rocking it. It's a good look.
'Cause everything I want, you wanna get it. I've come to fight and give up now. I'm already winning. Already winning. Already winning. Already winning, babe. 'Cause everything I want, you wanna get it. I've come to fight and give up now. I'm already winning. I want that luxurious life. I'm manifesting my vision like I see in fancy cars. Ain't giving up until we reach the stars. 'Cause I'm already winning, already winning. Already winning, already winning. Reach the stars. Already winning, already winning, babe.
I can do your job. WWE, NFL, it would be a pleasure, it would be an honor. This is what I'm working towards, this is my goal. And like No Regard means, I can't stop and I won't stop until I achieve that goal. I have to stay relentless.
They weren't No Regard. They were, I believe, Taylor Gang.
I remember thinking in my head, these guys want to win. And so everything was always kind of coming back to that.
We have our first ever hashtag on a FPF trophy.
I still don't get it. They could be the greatest dynasty because a dynasty is a team that actually wins.
Even from the first day that Lance, Kendall, Demi, or No Regard was started, there was a certain understanding that there was something major happening here. But everybody didn't notice until years to come.
The story of No Regard began in the winter of 2011, when they are formerly known as Taylor Gang.
This is a whole different video out here because right now a kid named KD, J-Star holding the camera, EMG, you should know, if you don't know now you know, are playing flag football this year, repping Taylor Gang.
After 2011, made a team with Alex. He asked me if I could get a few guys to play on the team, so I hit up a few people that I knew about football, played some football, etc. So we made Taylor Gang, and it was a little humbling.
Taylor Gang ended the season with an embarrassing record of 1-9 and were instantly sent back to the drawing board.
It was a rocky road that 2011 winter season, can't lie, rocky road, but it was kind of needed for what came after.
That one was on me in the red zone today. It won't be like that next week. Okay,
That's
next
right.
time,
That's
take all right. We're gonna win by practice. Then water, take a shot.
Hold on, yo,
Let's get Tiger.
Lance, Kendall, Demi, and Marcus Balaka abandoned the moniker Taylor Gang and rebuilt under the name No Regard for the 2012 winter season, finishing with a swaggering record of 9-0-1. However, off the field, it was the antics of Tiger Horn that would gain attention.
Tiger Horn was one of those players that, I don't want to shit on the guy, but probably one of the least talented players on that first No Regard squad.
You see this one in the front seat? I'm gonna marry her.
Post after post, Tiger would use social media to showcase No Regard off the field. While some found it amusing, others rebuked it and patiently waited for No Regard to fail in the postseason.
He embodied what No Regard was, whether it was on the field or off the field.
What a lot of people didn't know is that he actually had a hearing impairment. So when quarterback Hollowback would call Hut on the ball, sometimes he would maybe miss, sometimes it was a little early. He didn't know how to time his route to whisk that snap, so it actually turned into kind of a joke around the league in terms of, you know, look at this guy who's trash talking on the wall who can't even play football.
No Regard faced TCO in the first round of the playoffs, with the score tied 13-13 in a game full of dare and jeopardy. On a crucial fourth down, Tiger Horn made the biggest play of his FPF career.
That one was on me in the red zone today. It won't be like that next week. Okay,
That's
next
right.
time.
That's right.
We're gonna win more practice.
Then water, take a shot.
Hold on, yo,
Let's get Tiger.
No Regard had less than a week to enjoy the win. The following weekend, a loss to the Mustangs left them eliminated from playoff contention, and league players were quick to rejoice in their defeat.
The animosity towards them was significant. The karma is a bitch, you talk too much, you can't play well, and it just became, and it spiraled. That whole story about how, you know, they hyped themselves up so much, it kind of deflated that whole bubble, and everyone was happy to see them lose.
After that Mustangs loss, like, I cried on the side. I was like, damn, that's where I knew I kind of cared. Like, if I'm gonna cry for something, it's because I kind of care about it.
Yo, Jay, this that sign out. I'm gone. Going to Miami with the bitches and the sun, but no piff. So we smoking good tonight.
Burn that. Yeah, man. This is the final J with my boy Tiger, yo, and it's a bat.
We used a very similar style to the NFL, where the better you finished in the regular season the previous year, the harder your schedule will get the following year. Not that we gave them, but they ended up with a schedule which you can consider being harder.
Flying Comics, Checkmate, Certified Fly Guys, Dragons, Project Mayhem.
There was another team entering that spring season called the Rogues, which was another powerhouse team comprised of Hugo Lalonde, Julien Benavent, Jamal Gittins, Kevin Lubin.
We're the good guys, no regard with the bad guys. It's the same story if you use the comic. Like, everybody wants the villain to lose.
Rogues were 5-0, No Regard were 5-0. Someone was gonna lose, and everyone wanted it to be No Regard. Everyone wanted the Rogues to humble them.
What do you remember from that game?
Demi, that rusher. I thought my speed into Jolie would be the difference maker of that game. He put me in my place real quick. They forced me to change the game plan of the game and less using my legs and using my arm.
That game ended up finishing 25-24, No Regard. Everyone was stunned because the amount of players that were on that Rogues roster that were supposed to be the best of the best in that division essentially didn't win them that game.
I told them the only thing that we need to do is to get to the playoffs, and we'll have a chance to get our revenge. That's it.
Their usual antics are starting over again, win their first game, they're immediately back on the wall, creating a bunch of noise. There was definitely talk in terms of, what are we gonna do about this on the administrative side of the league? We didn't want to just turn it into just a thread of people yelling at each other and screaming profanities. What ended up happening even more was, of course, our Facebook wall turned into a back and forth between a lot of the No Regard players and a lot of those Rogue players.
7-0, guys, we're doing what we're supposed to do. That's right. We're gonna finish undefeated as another victory. Fuck all that. Playoffs is the real game. For those who played last season, we know what's good. Let's finish what we started last season, guys. You know what it is. 1, 2, 3, No Regard. 1, 2, 3. No Regard.
This is TCO. We're about to finish the season 10-0. TCO. TCO.
I wanted to be the most complete player when I was about to face No Regard.
Y'all watching Spygate in our games.
The season's done. That was just like the little video game, the exhibition. Now it's the real season that starts. We lose and we're out. We already been here last year.
You gotta beast in a cage, and the beast is out.
The only thing I told to my team was to stay focused.
So what are you gonna do now?
Don't listen to the distraction.
This is your doing.
They're scared of us.
Pretty boy, go snatch your girl. Go take it in the back, finish running in the back of the, what was it? Catalonia. No, put that. Bro, sorry, now can you go to the championship?
Road to playoffs, baby. Road to playoffs, baby.
So fast forward a few weeks and we end up in the semifinals for the championship. And once again, No Regard is going to be playing Rogues.
Till this day, that was probably the biggest game of my entire FPF career.
This is one of the first games that we ended up with where people came to watch the game because they actually wanted to see the results of it. And that hadn't really happened in other divisions as much. There have been a few cases here and there, especially at the higher divisions when you had some of those big rivalries, but never to the extent that this game brought people out to try and see what was gonna happen.
It was basically a mystic-free game, and it came out to the very, very end.
Last play of the game, Rogues need to score to win this game. They're at the 1 or 2 yard line.
Personally, I never played in front of a crowd, that big of a crowd.
It was kind of getting loud, rambunctious, brash.
I felt the pressure.
So they had to call a timeout. So I just told Lance, listen, if the ball comes my side on Jamal, we gotta do what we can so he does not come down with the ball. I mean, if it means it's a flag, hurt.
So to all my receivers to take a deep breath. If we do win it, let's go get the ship.
Jamal, if you end up watching this, you're my guy, but I was willing to go all the way to the end to make sure you don't hold on to that ball. 100%. Sorry. Not sorry.
Why did you go to that side? Was it a trust? Was it a matchup? Was it why did the Montreal decide to go there?
Basically, it was a trust. Because I knew that you guys were expecting me to throw it to Jamal. So I threw it to Julien, who had the height advantage on Travis. And at first he ended up with the ball, but Travis ended up doing, just one tiny thing.
Immediately once that play falls incomplete, the stands just erupt and it's just screaming and celebrating and noise, and you see the disappointment on the Rogues as well because they know it's done. Balanced formation, you have most of the people drifting to the right.
2 guys coming my way,
including one to the deep corner,
one in the front.
Travis Moses made a great play to knock it out of his hands on a diving catch essentially.
You're going against our best DB, so you pay for what you get.
When I saw the ball hit the ground, honestly, I wanted to cry. I just felt like I left my team down for a second time in the season. Just felt like can't get over you guys. I was pissed off. I was sad at the same time.
On paper, this might seem like a lopsided victory, but however, the game has not been played yet. It is Project Mayhem, the Cinderella of the Division D playoffs, versus the undefeated #NoRegard.
This is the press conference before the championship game. War Chief speaks.
Hi, and welcome to the Spring 2012 edition of the press conference. Is there anyone on Project Mayhem that Travis Moses can't cover?
No.
You're leading the playoffs in sacks. Can you put the pressure on Belmer all game long?
I just think that I'm going to do what I have to do.
Are you going to come through again?
I hope so. One more left, one more obstacle left.
Pretty much we just knew walking in that the other team was already shitting their pants. They had no chance. Hotel room was paid for.
Embassy suites.
Alcohol was bought.
We got 2 rooms. Yeah, we could lose, but there was no losing.
We still wanted that villain that we could chase after, but at the same time, eventually you wanted to have that villain die, and this wasn't going to be that week.
called a touchdown.
Myers makes the catch. And that was been thrown out for what we can assume is objectionable conduct.
It was bound to happen though. We saw him losing his temper early.
I've never seen since then Brassard filled up as much as it was. I can't tell you how many people.
This has to be a record attendance.
Well, no regard help.
Sold out.
We had people in the stands with signs.
So many people here for a flag football game.
We've got a no regard player bringing the camera up to the booth.
And I took the headset, just like The Rock does in WWE. I didn't know what I was thinking. I put it on my head, and in my mind, I wanted to commentate the last play of the game.
Alex has got the ball. Last play of the game. Alex, my quarterback. D-ball. That's what we do. No regard. I am out like that.
And that's no regard is the Div D 2012 Summer Champion. Look, they deserved it. Going undefeated for 2 regular seasons.
No L's on the record, it's just all W's. See the record so clean, it's just all W's. Hate all you want, I'll just keep getting W's. And I don't give a fuck, no regard, nigga.
Especially as they started knocking teams down, you didn't want to be the next team to be beaten by no regard. And we have our first ever hashtag on a FPF trophy. So times are a-changing indeed.
I always tell people that when you don't understand what it's like to lose, it's very hard for you to win. I came to realize, it didn't take me that long, I said they just really want to win. I don't care what league it is, what division you're in, it's always hard to win a championship. Anyone that tells you different is a liar.
This is the closest thing that I had to being a professional athlete. You pick off a pass, you catch a ball for a yard, and you have 50, 60 people screaming your name, and you know, it was just unreal.
We said it was a redemption season and we lived up to it. It's like no talk shit. Like this is what we're gonna do, and we did it. When we got there, a few of us were like, yo, is that a club?
Yeah, it is a club. No, that's no club.
Oh, that is them, bud.
Don't tell me we got the place packed out like that.
Nah, man, these are people coming here like for us. Shout out the hotel staff, because that was a lot of people and they kind of let us all in and they just let us do our thing for that night. Like honestly, like shout out to that hotel staff.
We actually got invited to the championship after party with no regard. There was booze galore. I mean, people were bringing in bottles like crazy. Girls came dressed as if they were going to the club.
I remember after the championship when they won, I don't remember which guy was on no regard. Somebody said, hey, like we're gonna go party if you wanna come with us later. And I just sort of laughed because it just showed you like the talent of this team, but the naivety of a young player that would think a referee would want to or should go to party with a team after they won the championship. That would look so bad.
It turned into just a fun time to be there and just socialize with people. It kind of became more of a persona of that no regard brand rather than an actual, I guess, reflection of their own character. And I think that's when some of us on the media side started to look at no regard in somewhat of a different light.
Yeah, we the shit, no regard, nigga. 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 Yeah, we.
No Regard utilized their musical talent and on-field success to catapult their popularity, catching the attention of several UFC fighters who would vouch for their success.
No regard for the well-being of others, because I'm an asshole.
No regard at all for them. Debut season sucked, thought that was all for them. Made a new team, still they couldn't see. Sophomore season went all-star on them. It's junior pros fucking front linesman. Second in command standing right beside him. North Stars brothers standing right behind them. Behind the scene diabolical scheming. Winter season didn't go as planned. Spring season we drafted Sproles and beast mode bastards.
With each concert, No Regard's popularity spilled over into mainstream, and of course they documented everything for the league to see.
Go downtown and you'd see somebody with an NR hoodie and see their Twitter handle on the arm and be like, oh, I know you from Twitter, I know you from Twitter. So this is something that we had done like in 2012, 2013 already.
No Regard basically, to me at the time, came out of nowhere. Young guns talking smack, talking shit all over Facebook, talking shit about the dynasty, like Montreal's finest.
There's chatter on the wall, and they're talking this big game and whatnot, but they haven't done much.
Prove it with a team like D-Boys, and then make your way up to Montreal's finest.
Kevin Wyatt, the Ken Moore, KISHON, THOMPSON, you know, like these are the big names of the league, you know?
Until you beat D-Boys, Montreal's finest, stop talking. I couldn't take it anymore.
You should walk out and like show you're an all-star, not talk like an all-star.
I'm an all-star, my nigga Tiger all-star, JS an all-star, Black an all-star, everyone in no regard an all-star, we're the greatest team, I don't give a fuck.
First word I think of when I hear Montreal's finest is
dynasty.
Dynasty.
Montreal's finest have maintained their spot at the top of the hill.
When I first heard of No Regard, it had to be online, when things were popping off online and stuff like that. We'd all read the comments, but nobody would answer. I was more saying to myself, it's a Div 5 team.
One team in Division 5 has become the talk of the league.
I remember somebody telling No Regard or somebody from No Regard to step up to D1 and play Montreal's finest. And that was the first time that my ear was really like.
Previous to us running an actual full fall season, we used to do a charity event, Midnight Madness tournament essentially. And it so happened that Montreal's finest, the dominant team at that point in time, got matched in one of their games against No Regard.
Montreal's finest, I think, was going in just to say, look, we're gonna, we'll score fast and often, and we'll put these guys to bed, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of the No Regard story, And that's not really what happened.
And I remember placing bets at some point with some of the other staff members saying, what do you think, what's the spread in this game? And people were in the 28 to 30 range in terms of what they thought it was gonna be.
I recall kind of there being a bit of a, like an intense air, And the narrative became, well, it's an overnight tournament, we're not taking it seriously. No Regard came in and they were like, we're playing to win this game. This is like, for real.
We got to be able to play in any circumstances, whether it's at 3 a.m. in the morning, and whether it's a team that necessarily is playing for a championship at the time. You understand?
Thompson, you had a Ken Moore, you had Kevin Wyeth, and these guys were either all-stars, MVPs, and just known from everyone to be the elite of the elite. So we thought that No Regard had no chance.
What Montreal finest said, because they realized they were actually in a football game and they were playing.
They emptied the tank on us. I remember we had to really play that game, so it was surprising to me as well.
It was a close game throughout, but when you're playing against the GOAT, there's only too many mistakes you can make, and we made one too many mistakes.
I didn't once think that we were going to lose the game, but I wanted to blow them out. Even if we win by a little bit, it was still like, man, we should have blown these guys out, So
for a Div 1 team to not blow out a Div 5 team is, I'm not going to say embarrassing, but it's uncommon.
We held our end for a quote-unquote Division 5 team. Quote-unquote there's some guys that didn't play tackle. Quote-unquote guys that are not athletic.
I remember talking to a few of the guys on No Regard, and I said,
it's just a little bit, man. The champs are here, and the teams are close. You guys are as good as anybody I've seen.
Once people saw that, put a little bit more respect on NR's name.
If playing us in that game and what they've proved on the field helped them be what they are today, well, that's an honor for us too.
Travis, probably at that time, the best DB in all division combined.
That was our first entry into Division 2. We had a good squad. We had a good squad going into that season, and then, you know, the injury bug happened. It was Demi first that something tore on his finger. Yeah, he needed surgery. And then after that, Travis had the big injury covering Adam Bailey where the leg.
For my parents and my brother, like I told them I was okay. I'd rather it be me than them.
When I heard that Travis broke his leg, well, I felt bad for the guy. He was young. So I messaged Lance to know in which hospital that Travis was.
I wasn't expecting all of these FPF players to come through. Kevin Lubin came through. There was just a lot of support from the FPF.
At the end of the day, what happens on the field stays on the field. We're a brotherhood.
You're paying to play in flag. No one's paying you, right? So then you kind of see two injuries happen, like two guys that have to go into surgery, and you're like, yo, do I really want to do this?
After back-to-back injuries on the same night to both their defensive all-stars, No Regard began to question their career in recreational sports, whether it was worth it to move forward.
I kind of gathered from that game, there was kind of like a shift in terms of like how certain people saw flag, and like, you kind of tell yourself, like, is it really worth it?
Something unique about Flag Plus is we actually have a Hall of Fame for players that hit the pinnacle of their performance, the excellence factor. And of course, as you would expect, we got a post from Lance Daniel one day about how he deserves to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
If you want to be that in the Hall of Fame or whatever, you shouldn't be like, supporting your own candidacy.
At that point, I mean, just from an administrative perspective, he clearly wasn't eligible. But of course, players started negging on him and saying, well, Lance is never going to get in, that it's impossible, and that they would eat some crow if it would ever happen.
I met Lance in 2012. When we met, it was through a lot of social gatherings, and he was very, very well liked and well respected.
Who are these guys posting rat videos in the group? It will rub people the wrong way, and it rubbed me the wrong way.
Seeing all the animosity, and it was just so hard to understand that like so many people didn't like him.
Okay, he's winning championships after talking all that smack, so we can't get on him for that. Okay, he's trying to do something with his life other than football and stuff. Let's get on him for that. We can't beat him on the field. Let's try to beat him personally.
We had been doing our roadshow finals for a few seasons at that point, and we were always getting questions of how do you guys pull this off? Because we were doing a lot of different tech, we were renting equipment, we were doing this massive setup. The problem was everyone that would be available to film and shoot that content was working on the roadshow with us to produce the actual finals. And at that point, I had the idea of, well, let's ask Lance.
We asked him for access to the media Wi-Fi, which is the one that, the Canadians and the Impact News and all that stuff. 2 in, 2 out.
Nope.
How's this getting a signal?
It's not getting a signal. It's sending out
And I remember having a conversation with Keys at the time, and Rob, and Darren, and trying to figure out, was this really what we want to have? Do we want to bring him in to work on some of this stuff?
So I'm officially able to get the live stream working, which means that people are going to be able to watch these games straight from their computer, all the way from Division 6 to Division 1. So really excited right now. Dave De La Rocca got hit in an accident, so he's going to be here just on time.
Look up, when the stick's up, we can go.
When the stick's up, you don't go. The stick's down, you go.
That's right, when it's down.
We had a breakdown of how the actual roadshow came to be, all the production stuff, the struggles we had in dealing with the issues of people not showing up and the wiring being wrong and camera setup, etc. And then we got to see some highlights of the games too, which was bonus, right? Because he stayed the entire night to film it.
How does it feel to win a championship with your children?
There is nothing better. Life is good. We took the risk, we gambled on it, and it turned out to be probably one of the most successful projects we did outside of our usual media content. And people loved it. I loved it. Welcome to the FPF Championships.
The FPF documentary is officially over, but now that it's over, off the record, you gonna vote for Lance Daniel to the Hall of Fame?
No, we need eligible seasons first.
Yeah, you need enough seasons with the media.
Or a contribution to the league.
If the work put in that was done today is consistent enough, there's no reason why not.
So that was kind of the starting point and springboarded Lance into the media to start filming games of the week. Ryan Aridi was responsible for doing a lot of the production on that and wanted to kind of take a step back. Ryan's focus for doing games of the week was very templated, where he would shoot every play, he would give you the downage, he would do a much wider shot, he would let the play develop in terms of directly from the snap. Lance came in and threw that out entirely.
It's the fourth quarter. 2-minute warning. No room for error. What's the play, coach?
Run it back, C-Mac. Run it deep, Tyreek. Fare me like Khalil Mack. Touchdown, Zeke. Fourth quarter, run it back. Cut him, no slack. Fourth quarter, run it back. Run it back. Oh!
It was very fast-paced, it was aggressive cuts, it was tight zooms, it was a lot of motion in terms of trying to get to the spot.
Run it back, opposition weak, cut him, no slack. Run it back. Opposition weak, cut him, no slack.
I did call Lance the Steve Sable of the league. You wouldn't know the NFL if it wasn't for NFL films. It would have been just another sport on television. Lance has brought that kind of sensibility in his own way, and I literally meant it. I mean, I said, wow, this is really good, and the players love it.
Seeing his videos, the quality of his videos, giving that new look of videos that we hadn't seen in FPF ever. More hype up tracks, gave some slow-mos, got the replays in there. If you're gonna help FPF get to a next level, I mean, you got a place in my heart in the end.
I want to see the up close toe taps, I want to see the physicality in the game.
Man, he just gave a whole new aspect to the league, and I think that took FPF to another level at that point too.
They got everybody's attention by making a lot of noise. Everybody was jumping on to see what he was doing as a video man. And he had everybody watching because everybody was watching whatever No Regard was doing.
His games of the week got the most viewed views. Our Instagram page is thriving now in terms of the people that watch our stories and have followed us.
You had no choice but to give him his credit. For me, it's like it was a grand scheme from the beginning, like he knew what he was doing.
Say I love Kenneth Myers. He's my boy. He's my Brandon Marshall. He's my Victor Cruz. He's my Rob Gronkowski.
NR has always made the playoffs. So we were trying to salvage this season and still trying to make the playoffs. After Lance left, after Demi left, it was really the core of NR was really myself, Travis, Jeremy, and after Jordan to an extent. So as the captain, I'm the one that sent the text to Alex. That's my boy, right? I'm the one that brought him initially. But then after that, thing went downhill with Alex. There was no more Alex on NR.
One of the traditional ways you build a team is you register with a bunch of friends who you know from school, from your neighborhood, from work. As you start getting more addicted to the FPF formula, you start wanting to raise that bar, and that means starting to scrape off the bottom pile of your players, even if they're your close friends, and bringing in additional talent that you meet from playing in the league.
I always try to find people that would best fit No Regard. Maybe not always talent-wise, but if you could play a certain part in the team, and you could buy into like a certain like concept and history.
Good players want to play with good teams. But I think a guy like KENDAL, he knows a lot of players, and I think he realizes, okay, I need this guy to play X receiver. I need this guy to play corner. This guy can help us at rusher.
KENDAL just put the right guys in the right pieces, and I think a big part of that was adding Corey Pecker.
It's the wave and you niggas can't surf. Water wet, these diamonds gon' hurt. It's the wave and you niggas can't surf. Shine so bright, this drip gon' splurge.
Solid QB who had the same vision as No Regard. Spread the ball well to all the teammates. He made the right choices, always.
In the fall of 2017, the addition of Corey Pecker had an immediate impact on No Regard. Corey's leadership led #NR to the finals of the FPF Cup tournament, where the winner would earn a trip to Indianapolis.
To my mind, it was never a question of like, did No Regard not have the talent? I think they always had either some talent, a lot of talent, or more than enough talent.
It was the first Fall Cup in FPF. The winner went to go to Indy. We played against KIROUAC.
When Kendall Myers takes over of running the No Regard roster after Lance steps down, he has a lot of pressure to try and keep that core together.
NR offered me back to the team. I would do anything to play.
The fact that they've been able to move forward with that same kind of core group is a testament to Kendall's ability.
Every season, just being themselves, moving up, making small tweaks to the roster. Corey Pecker's added a ton to this team, and to me, he's such a good fit.
He's the right fit for that team.
Kendall's always like very aloof with me, so it's like I'll ask him a question, he'll just not answer. So there's a lot of things that I still have no clue how he's done. He's able to get people to come on.
No Regard have won our FPF Cup and have gotten themselves an admission slip to a tournament happening in Indianapolis. From the 9 players that are featured in it, only 3 of them are from that original No Regard championship core. The one thing you're not seeing in that clip is who's behind the lens, because at that point, Lance is the videographer. So in a way, he's also kind of a part of that championship. That No Regard team has evolved to be much more than just what him and KENDAL had started off with. They've managed to bring in all these other players to join their squad and be a championship team.
If I could redo everything, I would want Alex to be the quarterback for NR like until now, but shit happens, so it is what it is.
It's like battle, you lose people along the way, you lose soldiers along the way, you lose friends along the way, and you never forget the people that helped get you there.
Credit to Kendall Myers, who's been the captain from day one. He's never been afraid of making roster changes, making roster additions, making splash moves.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Division 2 final between #NR against Clockwork, a 1 versus 5 seed.
Up till then, it had always been that challenge of come play with the big boys, come play with the big boys, come play with the big boys. And this was that opportunity to do it.
No Regard was a way for them to prove that they belonged, and they belonged in the upper echelons of the league.
If you're gonna shit talk that much when you're in a Division 5 or Division 6, just because you're beating teams the way you're doing.
People said move up to Division 1 and 2 and now talk. So now the Division 2, first seed in the finals.
Marco Masiotra, who has a wealth of title experience, taking on a #NR team looking to become a dynasty according to Simon Dagenet. Tipped. Picked off, Pilon from Myers. And here comes Pilon, 1-man to beat with Masiotra down on the left sideline, and he'll go for the 6. Teddy Fournette, the veteran, with a 1-yard touchdown grab. Pumping, avoids Myers, looking again, cross body, and Antonio Lanning with 2 feet in. And a great drag of the feet by Travis Moses for the 6 points. Going short middle, and KIROUAC with the tying touchdown. Deep trench open, caught.
That's a touchdown.
And it's now a 26-13 lead as he beat Teddy Fournette. A 7-point lead. Yes!
It's a big injury, but for sure I was gonna come back.
Deep right, picked off Moses, and that might send and book their tickets to Miami for #NR celebration. So I'm here to present the Division II Winter 2018 trophy to the captain, Kendall Mayers. Congrats.
Massive didn't break us. Let's go. That's it. We go. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Break it down.
We have one last thing to present here. It's the finals MVP, and it goes to Troy Trench.
It feels good. Honestly, I think I'm gonna keep playing with this team, and next year, hopefully, we could go to Division I and win it all. You know.
Good stuff, man. Congrats, Troy.
All right, thank you.
While some may hear the term no regard and define it as reckless, for this franchise, it embodies relentlessness and perseverance.
Us winning that Division II thing was like, I said right away, I need an extra t-shirt so I could give it to Lance, because yeah, that's the 6th man.
In the winter of 2018, No Regard won the Division II FPF Championship, silencing all critics who said they could never compete with the league's best. What started as a group of friends looking to make a name for themselves has now evolved into one of the greatest franchises in Flag Plus history.
His name is locked down for a reason, dog. Don't talk. Don't talk. He's young too. He's young. 17 years old. Any receiver wanted, come get it, dog.
They hung out together, they partied together, and when it came time to perform on the field, their chemistry and will to win separated them from the pack. The story of No Regard is a movie, a theatrical masterpiece. A story of triumph that had been documented by Lance Daniel from the very start. In February 2020, Lance's contribution to the league was honored as he was given Flag Plus's highest honor.
Do you think that the league was changed or was better? Was it made different? Did the guy have an effect on the league? And I say, yeah, he made the league better.
The 2020 Staff Contributor Hall of Fame inductee is Lance Daniel.
He's one of those people, whether you want to see him win or you want to see him lose, you're still going to tune in to see him.
Whether they're in Brossard, Lachine, or points in between, you were guaranteed to have an eventful 1 hour of football on the field and off of it with its fan base.
We have our first ever hashtag on a FPF trophy. So times are changing indeed.
Cap, go, get 'em. This relentless no regard. When the spring fall, you know how we ball. When you run with us, you running with some dogs. You on the other side, you better make that call. This relentless no regard, when the spring fall, you know how we ball, when you run with us, you running with some dogs, with some. This relentless no regard.
They weren't no regard. They were, I believe, Taylor gang. They just talked. They didn't work.
We have to show Demi speed.
I thought my speed and agility would be the difference maker of that game. You put me in my place real quick.
Defensive Player of the Year is Demi Feelgood of No Regard.
20 QB sacks, 6 tackles, 2 pat downs.
So if there's one positive out of that negative time, there was definitely the crowds, man. I think they even had signs.
It's like my side where I'm all emotional and shit.
They brought everything, you know what I mean? When it came to like the women, there was an ambiance. There's a whole ambiance that you wanted to be there.
That Brossard field was stacked with people one year.
They made it lively.
This relentless no regard. When the spring fall, you know how we ball. When you run with us, you running with some dogs. You on the other side, you better make that call. Made the switch, 80-15. Rookie to a vet, I've been in the league.
He has something that he's able to get people to come on, but also find talent that maybe didn't play FPF.
How I felt when I was playing Troy. He's a great player. He was making plays, but like to me, he was nowhere close to me.
We have one last thing to present here. It's the finals MVP, and it goes to Troy Trench.
Troy Trench, monster.
I was like, I would never play for Norgard ever in my life. But eventually,
when you run with us, you running with some dogs. You on the other side, you better make that call.
I don't know if Kendall bribes them with a bottle of Henny or two.
Kendall just put the right guys in the right pieces, and I think a big part of that was adding Corey Becker.
I would want Alex to be the quarterback for NR like until now.
Shout out Hollow cause he kept throwing them bombs. Put respect on our D cause we did that. J Trav, Jeremy, Demi built that. 3 brothers, I remain standing tall. Moses Mayer is holding NR till it falls.
Lance, he decided to start this clothing line over again and kind of take it more seriously. This is more than just a hashtag. It's family, perseverance. It's being yourself and not caring what people think of you. They've progressed so much in FPF to being undefeated this season, also before COVID shut them down. We hope that people see this and understand the story behind No Regard as a whole, and wear the brand, and we hope you like it.
This relentless, no regard, when the spring fall, you know how we ball, when you run with us, you running with some dogs, with some. This relentless, no regard. This relentless, no regard. When the spring fall, you know how we ball. When you run with us, you running with some dogs. You on the other side, you better make that call. This relentless, no regard, when the spring fall, you know how we ball, when you run with us, you running with some dogs, with some. This relentless, no regard.
History can't be repeated without mentioning me, man. Relentless, what's that? Never quit, never that. Never sit, never lax. We've been intertwined, yet divided so long. It's a miracle we got anything done despite it, but we did. What that is? Relentless. What that mean? Never stop, never quit, never bitch. Relentless. Non-stop, onslaught in this bitch. Bust shots till they drop or it clicks. What that is? Relentless. What you saying? Relentless, relentless. No regard, Montreal. Relentless, relentless. Yeah, one more time. Relentless. No regard. Relentless, relentless, relentless. Let's go. Never stop, never quit, boy. You get what you give, boy. Put stock in your dreams, just cut your losses. Invest smart, at least learn to read the market. Eat by any means, that was back since Dawson. Some actions put a gap that I could not cross, but I'm chill, you know me. Still beating the beat up, beating the P up. Now I'm chilling, kicking my feet up, smoking my weed, making more time for me and not making time free. Believe me, it's easy making it happen, just make it a habit. I'm a triple OG, I play D like a man, bitch. I've been gone for years, ain't nobody touched my stats yet. I speak facts, little boy, it's not bragging, it's making a point. You can't match me. Don't let the moment get bigger than you. Get up and take point. Motherfuckers gonna talk.
Walk into the meeting with my head up. Shut up, just dribbles what they try to tell me. Never listen. Now I'm in the building with my feet up. Life's a game of poker, never fold under pressure. Bet you never met a player like me. Hall of Fame 2020, number 20. Please tell me, who did you pay to come see? League of my own, in a league full of grown-ass men who grew to love me. Yeah, I love you too. Never been a crony, never been a stooge, never been a follower, never been a phony, never been a yes man. Blame it on my pigment, Pimp C man, knocking doors down off the hinges. Conversations may lead to millions. Life is a stat board, a calculator risk, now to find the word relentless.
Relentless, tools with me reckless. Got them playing different roles, I'm a specialist. I don't write these raps, I say shit and it makes sense. If she down, back won't help her, so just say less. Sorry honey, I'm off of Molly, I find it funny. I got bars, I got hooks, you know my fashion. These words are my thoughts, pain and passion. Double cup of that purple shot of magic. The big 3 back in studio, movie time action. Turn these raps into currency urgently. I say true to myself like currency. Relentless on these beats, I know you notice me. Relentless, what's that? See eclipse of the future, I be grinding on that. Relentless, what's that? See a clips of the future, I be grinding on that. I be grinding on, I be grinding on.
Yeah. History can't be repeated without mentioning me, man. Relentless, what's that? Never quit, never that. Never sit, never lax. We've been intertwined, yet divided so long. It's a miracle we got anything done despite it, but we did. What that is, relentless. What that mean? Never stop, never quit, never bitch. Relentless. Non-stop, onslaught in this bitch. Bust shots till they drop or it clicks. What that is? Relentless. What you saying? Relentless, relentless. No regard, Montreal. Relentless, relentless. Yeah, one more time. Relentless. No regard. Relentless, relentless, relentless. Let's go. Never stop, never quit, boy. You get what you give, boy. Put stock in your dreams, just cut your losses. Invest smart, at least learn to read the market. Eat by any means, that was back since Dawson. Some actions put a gap that I could not cross. But I'm chill, you know me, still beating the beat up, beating the P up. Now I'm chilling, kicking my feet up, smoking my weed. Making more time for me and not making time free. Believe me, it's easy making it happen, just make it a habit. I'm a triple OG, I play D like a man, bitch. I've been gone for years, ain't nobody touched my stats yet. I speak facts, little boy, it's not bragging, it's making a point. You can't match me. Don't let the moment get bigger than you. Get up and take point. Motherfuckers gonna talk.
Walk into the meeting with my head up. Shut up, just dribbles what they try to tell me. Never listen. Now I'm in the building with my feet up. Life's a game of poker, never fold under pressure. Bet you never met a player like me. Hall of Fame 2020, number 20. Please tell me, who did you pay to come see? League of my own, in a league full of grown-ass men who grew to love me. Yeah, I love you too. Never been a crony, never been a stooge. Never been a follower, never been a phony. Never been a yes man, blame it on my pigment. Pimp C man, knocking doors down off the hinges. Conversations may lead to millions. Life is a stat board, a calculator risk. Now to find the word relentless.
Relentless, tools with me reckless. Got them playing different roles, I'm a specialist. I don't write these raps, I say shit and it makes sense. If she down, back won't help her, so just say less. Sorry honey, I'm off of Molly, I find it funny. I got bars, I got hooks, you know my fashion. These words are my thoughts, pain and passion. Double cup of that purple shot of magic. The big three back in studio, movie time action. Turn these raps into currency urgently. I say true to myself like currency. Relentless on these beats, I know you notice me. Relentless, what's that? See a clips of the future, I be grinding on that. Relentless, what's that? See a clips of the future, I be grinding on that. I be grinding on, I be grinding on.
Relentless, what's that?